What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. I just published my interview with Dr. John Blitch. We had a wonderful conversation. I want to thank Dr. Blitch for his time and for his candor. And we talked about a lot of really interesting stuff. But while we were doing that, President Donald Trump was visiting the Kennedy Center, and he gave a statement that surprised me. I'm sure it surprised a lot of people because we weren't expecting that, given the current situation. You guys know Congresswoman Luna's task force are trying to get those files released, the JFK files, the Epstein files, and the UFO files. And so far, we hadn't seen any real action to that, only obfuscation. And from the so called secret keepers, we've been getting folks complaining that they're getting threats and people within the Senate and Congress trying to block this release. And honestly, I had lost most of my hope that any of this was going to be released at all. And I still have high doubts that the unredacted files will be released. I don't think they will. However, we just had President Donald Trump talking about this, and I'm going to share the screen with you guys so you can check it out. So here's the president, and this is what he said. The C-SPAN tweet reads as follows: President Trump on JFK files, and I quote, "We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. I don't believe we're going to redact anything. It's going to be very interesting. Approximately 80,000 pages." Here's what he said.
But while we're here, I thought it would be appropriate. We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this. And I've instructed my people that are responsible, lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard. And that's going to be released tomorrow. We have a tremendous amount of paper. You've got a lot of reading. I don't believe we're going to redact anything. I said, just don't redact. You can't redact. But we're going to be releasing the JFK files, and that would be tomorrow. Do you have anything else to add to that, Carolyn? So that's a big announcement. They've been waiting for that for decades. Then I said during the campaign I'd do it, and I'm a man of my word. So tomorrow you have the JFK files. What time will they be released? Tomorrow afternoon. Okay.
Have you seen what's in the files? Have you read them?
I've heard about them.
Was there,
Anything interesting?
It's going to be very interesting.
was there an executive summary supplied to President?
No, I'm not doing summaries. You'll write your own summaries. It's many pages. Is it 80,000 pages? Approximately 80,000 pages. So it's a lot of stuff. And you'll make your own determination.
Wow. I got to see that to believe it. I'm sorry, but it's been over 6 decades. And there have been times in the past when other presidents have tried to release these files. Remember, when Trump was in office in his first term, he tried to release them, and Mike Pompeo convinced him to not do that. I wonder what he said in order to convince him. But now, seemingly, they're releasing all the files unredacted. I think that a bunch of those files either no longer exist or they were like disposed of many, many years ago. I hope I'm wrong, but honestly, I don't think we're going to get the whole set of files. If that happened, I don't know. An institution could fall if that really does happen. And if all the files are released, that means we're going to get to know whether that document from JFK to the CIA director in 1962 is real or not. I've told you before, I've spoken to people like Jeff Cruikshank and Ryan Wood, and they've told me that that document does seem to be authentic. So We need to wait and see, but we won't have to wait that long. Apparently, we're getting those on Tuesday, March 18th in the afternoon. That's what Trump said. They're going to be unredacted. So, what are you guys expecting from that? Because presumably, and I'm so glad that they decided to do this with the JFK files before the Epstein ones, because the Epstein ones are like, they could potentially tie a bunch of people that are still living today, and it could create real chaos in the country. Not that I don't want them to release, I want for the whole truth to come out, whatever that is. But I'm glad that they chose to do JFK first. Because if that's first, and if JFK was indeed read into some of the UFO stuff, specifically that bluegill prime test that Harold Malmgren talked about and that Jeff Cruikshank wrote about on the Liberation Times, if that's the case, and if JFK did travel to Los Alamos to take a look at that data, that could make things a lot more interesting just like that overnight. So, fingers crossed, people. Before I continue, I want to just let you guys know and please ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really is helping the channel move along and keep growing. So, thank you for that. You can also share the content on any platform you like. Leave your comments on what do you think is going to come out on these files. Do you think they're going to come out completely unredacted, or do you think it's going to be more of the same? Let me know what you think. If you like the content, you can also consider becoming a member. That'd be really cool if we get to have you there as a member. And we're also on all the KGRA radio feeds for everyone to see. We're releasing a weekly interview of all the interviews that I've done. I'm guessing that one of the two interviews that I'm doing this week is going to be released on Friday. So keep an eye out for that on all the KGRA feeds. And I want to thank everybody for the support. And I want to thank Mr. Joe for he sent me a bunch of stuff. Just yesterday, this one arrived, which is for the live interviews that I'm going to be conducting whenever I go to either Contact in the Desert or whatever other events that I decide to go to. Right now, I don't have any plans to go to any of these events this year, but the year after, I do plan to attend some of those. So I'll be with this one asking questions to people with my camera. Thank you, Joe. I'm going to leave a link in the description to his X account so you guys can follow him. And I also got a tripod that is for the set that I have right here. I needed tripods too. So thank you, Joe, for the help and the support. I really, really appreciate it. I already told him that whenever he comes to Tijuana, meals on me. So get your ass here, Joe. Thank you. And tomorrow, guys, we're doing the Lembo Logan interview. I'm going to be recording that in the evening of Tuesday. So that's presumably going to come out during the night. But I've already been talking to Logan. I am really excited to talk to him because there are a lot of things that I did not know about him. I didn't know that, for example, he was one of the first people that David Grush approached when he was first to become more public with his investigations. So I want to ask him about that. I know that he believes that he could have seen the famous Calvine UFO from the UK when he was there. When the whole Calvine picture was taken, Lenville Logan was there, actually. So I'm going to ask him about that too. But there are a bunch of things that I want to ask him about because presumably he's like one of the most knowledgeable people of the material that the UAP task force was able to see on a consistent basis. So I want to ask him all the details that I can about that. What was that like? And I also want to talk to him about the stigma, which was also a topic that I discussed with Dr. Blitch. Something that I found really interesting about Dr. Blitch was that when I asked him about the mummies, he also saw tridactyl hands when he experienced his abduction. I found that really interesting. And he believes that this willful ignorance of the Nazca mummies from the Five Eyes countries has to do with fear. You guys are going to find that really fascinating. It's like the last 20 minutes of the interview. I timestamped it so you guys can check it out. But the whole interview is really cool. Dr. Blitch is really eloquent, and he's really easy to talk to, and he's really humble. And I just love talking to him. I hope I can do it again sometime. I hope that he enjoyed himself. He did seem like it. So I want to thank Dr. Blitch for that. But yeah, let me know what you think about this from President Trump. This statement. Do you think we're going to get really all of the JFK files unredacted? I got to see that to believe it, to be honest with you. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But let's see. Clock's ticking. Tomorrow afternoon. Let's see what happens. That's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious, stay inquisitive. Bye.